These have lasted us like 4 fucking months, you know that?
Thank God.
I know, man.
Something, you know?
It's a little bit of fucking nicotine.
2%.
5%. Five. It's 5%.
It's a placebo. It really is.
It probably is a placebo just so you can feel like there's like fucking like smoke somewhere in your lungs.
That's it.
The body needs smoke in Jesus Christ's name. Anyway, the temple needs smoke more accurately.
Mhm.
Just waiting for people to come in right now. They will come in. If you view it, they will come. You know, if you make it, if you do it, they will come.
Yes.
It's something like that. Blah 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 blue blah 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 blue blue blah blah blah. But who knows? Twitch has been kind of glitchy. You know, everyone's like complaining about Twitter right now, but Twitter is like better than it ever did. So, like, I don't know. All these people with their scare tactics when it comes to Twitter. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? So, alright. So, I was watching Amaranth have her date with, Panda Daddy, and it sucked. It's a shitty fucking date. He looks like he's always into himself and shit like that. So it's like, but yeah, at the same time, he's kind of sweet and he's definitely nerdy. He likes Pokemon and fucking DBZ. So I'm like, whoa, dude. Even though he got some facts around on DBZ, and I was like typing in the chat, correcting them over this shit, because it's like I'm a DBZ expert, and not only a DBZ expert, I very much like have had contact back in the day with the voice actors from Funimation. So it's like, and had kind of a little love affair with Kyle Hebert. But and anyway, I was also scrolling through the Twitter, and I was seeing that Foodie Beauty is pretty much, and good afternoon, guys, or good evening. I know it's late. It is. It's late. I apologize for everyone that it's late. What's up, strange juggalo? What's up, coctopus? I'm just like really like still starstruck by Coctopus coming into my chat all the fucking time. I'm just like, holy shit. I remember I was like in my 20s watching this dude and just hanging on to every single word, but thank you for watching me. I'm like really like seriously. You're like OG 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 OG. You were like there from the beginning. But anyway, my volume is low. I don't think it's low. It doesn't look low. I'm hitting the yellow. Dunkelberg, you are not shadow banned. What's up? It's fine. Thank you, spicy pepperoni. So I was like, I was scrolling through Twitter, and I noticed that Foodie Beauty, not only her dude did this regarding to Zachary Michael, which I'm like, okay, I know you're in a Muslim country, but you're on a American social media platform, and we don't do that. We don't do that. Okay, we used to do that back in like the 90s. Uh, but then we realized how bad we're hurting people, and I don't know if Chantal heard what happened in Colorado last night. With the gay bar shooting, but it really like not only did he mock Zachary Michael for being gay, but he also mocked another LGBT member, Amberlynn, and was talking about how she'd finish up all the chocolate at Cheesecake Factory. No, I didn't see that. He said she needs to lose weight. I didn't see that. But like what I did see was him gay shaming Zachary and fat shaming Amberlynn, both members of the LGBT, both on LGBT awareness fucking day. And not only that, like Pete's came out as trans. She went to fucking Pride this year, and now it's okay to bash gays and bash overweight women who are lesbians. And I'm just like, what the fuck? This is not one, but 2 times I've seen Chantal talk shit about Amber over her weight when Amber's been nothing but nice, sweet, kind, cordial, and friendly to Chantal. You know, I like the first one was talking about Amber's cankles. There was no reason to talk about Amber's cankles, but she did. She had to make fun of her cankles. And then she talks about Amber consuming so much food after she's been diagnosed with lipodema, which is not caused by really the overconsumption of food, but more about what kind of food she eats in her body, and it causes an allergic reaction to her body, which makes her swell and gain water weight. Yes, this girl has a problem with maybe not eating the healthiest. To her, she thinks a binge is having mozzarella sticks, some fries, a burger, and a Coke. Like, how many fucking of us have done that in our lives? I don't consider that overeating. I don't she thinks that's binging. That's her binging. That's how she feels is binging, is just having a little more extra food. That's not binging. And I'm seeing Chantal allowing this man to talk shit about this woman when it's like Chantal. I've never seen Amberlynn eat out the fridge. I've never seen her do that. She's not known to do that. I've seen her make some meals and eat the meal. I've seen her sometimes eat a whole thing of Chinese food. Uh, but Chantal, of all people, criticizing someone for overeating and binging. I literally have seen videos and videos of Chantal getting high off her ass, and I getting high off her ass, eating her whole fridge out, and not only that, but ordering several fucking takeouts throughout the whole fucking day. This is Chantal. This isn't Amber. This is Chantal. And here Chantal is criticizing Amber about overeating and binging. Chantal, I love you. But when did you become fucking Charlie Gold exactly? The hypocrisy of being a bigger woman mocking another big woman over something that you fucking do yourself, and it's not only something you just do, but there's plenty of video evidence on it. There's not many. I don't think there's any video evidence of seeing Amberlynn completely eat everything up. I've never seen it. I've seen her have meals. I've seen her talk about it, but I've never seen her actually do it like you see with you. So quit it with the hypocrisy, woman, and learn as a 38-year-old woman. just 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 you're a 38-year-old woman and you're letting a man talk shit about another woman, okay? I am a firm believer in this, okay? Real women stick up for women, okay? Little girls make fun of women, okay? As a woman, as a bigger woman, you and having the platform that you have a responsibility to not only yourself, but to the other people that you are influencing to not do the action, especially since you have talked about others fat shaming, especially since you have talked about how bullying has emotionally affected you. But yet you do it to Amber, and you know she's bullied constantly. You know she's treated like crap constantly, and you do it to her because for some reason you don't like it because she decided to go to Nader and fucking Dee Dee's and be like, I like your content. Guess what? There's a part of me that likes their fucking content too. I like to cook. I like to see people cooking. I like to see that. But Chantal, you can't let men run all over you and compromise what you believe for that fucking man. It's not fucking worth it. You're against fat shaming and you're against bullying. Well, fucking practice it. Don't just say you're against it, practice it. Like, when you heard your man say that out of his mouth, you should have been like, honey, I'm a bigger woman, okay? And me being a bigger woman, I don't appreciate how you're putting other women down over their disabilities, especially a woman like Amberlynn, whose weight gain is caused by a disease. That's very unfair to do to someone. It's very unfair to do to someone. That's what you should have done with your man. But you don't do that with your men. You shut up, you laugh, you giggle, and you let them get away with all this fucking trash. And then at the end of your relationship, you wonder how could this happen? It's because you allowed them to do one red flag thing over another red flag thing over another red flag thing, which when you allow a man to take advantage of you and others like that, they're just going to continue to do it because they know they're going to get away with it. I mean, what do you think Pete would feel knowing that he's trans or she's trans or trans curious? I don't know what it is with Pete. But how do you think they would feel knowing that you're not supporting the LGBT, that you're not being an ally, that you're allowing your husband to do this? You just totally blew any integrity you had saying you're an ally. Like, you should be an ally. Like, if you see someone doing something homophobic, you speak out. That's what being an ally is. If you see someone treating another person like trash and you're against bullying, you should speak up. Not sit there and giggle along with bullying and then hypocritically complain about others doing it to yourself. I love you, Chantal, but like this man stuff and letting men get away with this stuff and 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 going along with the evil that they do and not sticking up for your sisters and not sticking up for women's rights and not sticking up for women who are bigger. What are you doing? Like, you make fun of Amberlynn all the time. Do you think you're better looking than Amberlynn? Is that what it is, Chantal? Do you think you're better than Amberlynn? Is that what it is? You think you're better looking? You'd like, oh, I have a man. She's got a beautiful woman. Leave her alone. She never asked you her opinion about her body, but yet you want to talk about her body. But yet you complain when other people talk about your body, about how you don't like being fat shamed. And it just, it breaks my fucking heart so bad that women will not stand up for other women when they're demeaned and dehumanized. Like, this is something we have been fighting for centuries as women, not to be defiled by men, not to be objectified by men, not to be just, thinking that it's just how our bodies look and that's all that matters to us. I mean, there is more to a woman than how her body looks. There is more to Amberlynn than how her body looks. She has a mind. She's artistic. She's creative. She's smart. And all you people want to laugh and say she's not smart, I guarantee she reads a hell of a lot more than you ever have. So you could go and say she's not smart. She's intelligent as fuck. She's been doing this for years, hustling, having her heart broken, having people who pretend they're her friends just for views and all this other fucking bullshit. And I've seen this woman struggle through the years. And not only that, Chantal, I've seen your struggle throughout the years. I've seen your struggle. So why are you doing and letting your man get away with the things that you know you hate? Are you afraid of your man? Is that why you won't stick up? You won't be like, you don't do that to people. And then I see these comments on Twitter and people treating Peter Mon like utter horseshit because he's gay. And I'm like, what the hell? Are we reverting back culturally where it's okay to gay bash again, where it's okay to trans bash, where it's okay to fat bash, where it's just okay to bash anyone that's not like you? Like, mankind, can we please start supporting each other? Can we start edifying each other? Can we start doing good for each other and helping each other out instead of bringing people down? It's not right. I'm sad about this. I really am sad about this because, Chantal, I know you can do better than this. I know people can do better than this, than just knocking people down and hurting people who are different than them. There used to be a time where people, and I remember this time, man, like the 80s, early 90s, like people, they didn't give a fuck about your sexuality or the color of your skin or how you look. They didn't give a fuck. Because it wasn't about that. It was about civility back in that time. It was about like if if you disagree, you can agree to disagree. And then it was over. There was no need for debate. There was no need for a fucking pissing contest. It was just people supporting each other. That's why back in the day you used to see people have these street parties or these street picnics where the whole neighborhood would get together and like just jointly eat together. They don't do that shit anymore. They don't do that togetherness, love, you know, peace for all mankind stuff anymore. No, nowadays it's selfish, it's hypocritical, and it's just full of exploitation and trying to get others to hate others. And it's just a disgusting mentality, and the human race isn't going to get anywhere with that type of mentality at all. At all. At all. You really want to make a change in the world, you have to be that change. You want to make a difference in the world, you have to learn how to fucking shut the fuck up and let people live their fucking lives and stop judging people. Like, even in the Bible, it talks about judge lest you be judged. Meaning, if you judge, you're going to be judged too. Like, it talks about don't judge by appearances, judge righteously. Meaning, don't judge people about how they look, judge people about who they are. You know, and I'm not saying I'm perfect. I am not perfect. I've made my mistakes. I've had my moments. I wasn't not perfect always, but I always tried to keep that in me, knowing I'm not perfect. And because I know I'm not perfect, I should know that others aren't perfect as well. And I should be given grace and mercy to others because I am imperfect like they are imperfect. And because all of us are imperfect, we should learn to shut the fuck up and get along instead of trying to exploit other people's differences or flaws. You know, as an advocate, as a mental health advocate, I had to speak up because this isn't good for mental health. This isn't a good example that you showed to people, Chantal. This isn't a good example you showed to people. Okay, this it was catty, it was petty, it was hypocritical and just nonsensical to do that. Because it's like you claimed you were an ally, but yet you didn't say anything when your husband made fun of Zachary Michael. Like you seriously, you can attack what Zachary Michael says that you don't agree with. You know, that's one thing. But to shame him for something he can't help, which is being gay. Like I can't help being bisexual, okay? I will always find women attractive. No matter what. No matter what, I will find men and women attractive. More women than men, really. But like did you think about how Pete would take that? Like he hates that type of sexism. He hates fat shaming. Pete does. He hates transphobic, homophobic rhetoric. Do you care about Pete? You're you're leaving him in Canada to take care of everything while you're having this love affair with this guy that you barely fucking know, and now you know this dude is homophobic. He hates fat people, obviously, because he talks shit about your weight. He talks shit about Amberlynn's weight. I'm sure if he saw me, he'd talk shit about my weight too. You know, it just it gets on my nerves when I see people do that to other people, and it's like they should know better. Like, you, of all people, Chantel, when it comes to fat shaming, you should really know better. But you laugh about it like, ha, it's funny, she's gonna overeat, even though you're the one who's taken out the fucking fridge and had takeout constantly afterwards. There's been times you said you didn't eat all day and people are like, you ate 30 minutes ago, and you're like, oh. Like, I'm trying to get my brain around this, how you could shame someone for binging when it's like you're the queen of binge. Hell, hungry fat chick I haven't seen eat as much as you. The closest person I've seen to eat as much as you, and it still doesn't even compare to you, Chantel, is Nikocado Avocado. I've seen you eat more than Nikocado Avocado. But you're gonna shame Amber for that? I can't. I fucking can't, man. Like, how am I supposed to, like, am I supposed to, like seriously, if it was someone else, Chantel, would you think they're fake, phony, hypocritical? I, because that's what people are seeing. That's what I see. It's sheer hypocrisy. Like, and this is a woman who likes to drink Dr. Pepper and eat pizza, okay? I like doing that. I like my pizza. I like my Dr. Pepper. You know, I was feeling bad like a couple weeks ago because I was like, I've been losing a lot of weight because I'm really sick, but um I was looking at my waist and feeling the bones in it, and I was like feeling bad because it's like my squishiness is going away. I was like, I'm losing, like, I don't even know why I miss it. Because I never really enjoyed my fat, but at the same time, it's like I miss it. I don't even know if that makes any sense, but I do. And it's like, I just saw, like, I could imagine what he says to you in private, Chantel. Did you get in another situation that's really bad and you don't know how to get out of it because you're kind of trapped in a fucking country that isn't your own? Like, Chantel, if you feel like you're trapped in Kuwait, please go to the American embassy. I don't know if they have a Canadian embassy at Kuwait, but they definitely have a United States embassy in Kuwait. And if you feel like you're trapped there, if you feel like you're in prison there, that you can't leave, go to the embassy and they'll get you home. But it's like, I'm not, I see that meanness. And I don't hear it from him because I don't have the time anymore to watch your videos all the way through. But I hear from others how he's talking about your weight constantly, Chantel. Like, why would you even go in a relationship when a man is obsessed about you not looking the way he wants you to look? Like, it doesn't seem like it would be happy for you. Oh, I'll change for him. I'll change for him. You shouldn't have to change for any man, Chantel. The only person you should be changing for is yourself. Not for anyone else, but for you. To know thyself. That's important, Chantal. To know who you are. Not doing what you think other people expect of you, but doing what you need to do to make yourself fulfilled as a human being. And you ain't gonna get it by just getting another fucking dick. You ain't gonna feel fulfilled by making fun of other people. You're not gonna feel fulfilled by overeating and binging. You're not gonna feel fulfilled that way. If you truly, truly loved yourself and cared about yourself, you would respect yourself enough to not let that stuff happen around you. And you tell those who break your what you believe in, and you tell them what you feel, you know? It's not good to compromise yourself for dick. It's not worth it. Cuz if you're constantly compromising yourself and you're in a marriage, your marriage isn't going to last cuz you aren't getting what you need out of the situation when you're compromising yourself for others. You're taking away a part of you and putting it aside and invalidating yourself just so you can fit in with someone who doesn't have the same ideals as you. Like I was happy for you at first, but like the more I'm seeing, it's not good, Chantel. It's like I, it's like you're asking permission if you can eat an olive. You have to go around and he has to drive you everywhere because you're not legally to drive in Kuwait. Are you really happy? And that's the question you really need to ask yourself. Are you truly happy? Not with your situation, but are you happy with yourself? Because when you're making fun of people, when you're hurting other people, that tells me that you're hurting inside because hurt people hurt people. Notice I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm not. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to make you feel bad. But I also want you to come to a realization that you are a Canadian woman and your culture doesn't really mesh well with Salah's culture. And you're compromising your culture for someone else's to make them feel good while you're killing yourself inside and compromising yourself and your actions. And it's sad to watch. It's sad to watch someone deny who they are for someone else who's not appreciative of you at all. When that man fat shames you and others around you, that should be a wake up call. He doesn't love me fully. He doesn't care about me fully. Because if he cared about you, if he loved you, he wouldn't be worried about your weight. He'd be more worried about your happiness. If he truly loved you, he wouldn't want to change you on who you are. If he truly loved you, you wouldn't have to hide your past. He just embraces your past, and it is what it is. Like, you're 38 years old. You should have learned this a long time ago as a woman. But maybe you have to go through more fucking shit in order to learn. I don't know. Maybe you're one of those learners where you have to take the hard road in order to learn correctly. I've been like that a lot of times. Where I didn't listen and I had to wait for everything to like fall fucking apart in order for me to learn my fucking lesson. I get that. But the most important thing is I'm seeing you attack someone. So my question is, are you happy? Are you truly happy? Because like I said, hurt people hurt people. I know I'm happy a lot in my life. I know things are going in a good direction right now. I'm happy with my love life. My husband and me are really good. I'm happy with my kitty cats. I'm glad. I'm grateful for my where I'm putting my head at night. I'm grateful for my children because they are awesome as fuck and understanding and loving and cherishing, and they're awesome. I'm grateful for what I have. Are you? Because you change so fast. Most people who are going through a lot of trauma, who are going through a lot, they do impulsive actions, don't think them through, just to try to get that little bit of taste of happiness. And I get that too. I get impulsion. I have borderline personality disorder. It's part of my psychological profile is being impulsive. Though through therapy, um, I've gotten a lot better from being impulsive. I've really have set boundaries on myself to not be impulsive like that. So like whenever I think I gotta do this, I usually sleep on it before I do anything because I think that's more important. When I feel very agitated or very angry and I want to do something like lash out at the person, I definitely know that's not the correct way how to act. It's inappropriate. So I try to just keep myself to myself until the feelings dissipate so I don't do impulsive actions, which is good to put boundaries on yourself while putting boundaries around the people for you, and setting boundaries with people. It's important, especially if you're struggling with mental illness. You have to have boundaries for yourself and others, and hopefully those people around you will respect your boundaries. And if they don't respect your boundaries, they're toxic, and you probably should kick them out of your life if they don't respect your boundaries. Period. You know, and I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm not saying this to be condescending. I'm saying this as a friend and as someone who has struggled with the same fucking shit you've struggled with. I'm saying this as a woman who really has matured in a lot of ways. I don't do the bullshit that I used to do because I realized how it affects others. And I don't want to affect people negatively. I really don't. I And I thought you were getting to that place where you didn't want to affect people negatively. Like, don't let this man turn you into a monster, Chantal. Because you have a beautiful light inside you. You have that beautiful light inside you. And you should let that light shine. Because we've all seen it before, that beautiful light inside you. But there's this darkness sometimes, Chantal, that takes a hold of your soul. And you do become nasty sometimes. And I get that too. There's times where I'm nasty too. But there comes a time where you realize what you did was wrong. And you have to apologize to the people you hurt. It's like Alcoholics Anonymous, you know. Anyone you affected with your alcoholism, you're supposed to apologize to. It's meant to cleanse your heart of all that guilt and all that shame that build up. You know, you know, like I said, Chantel, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect, but I've certainly learned a thing or two through me going through fucked up shit. And I just want to pass along that wisdom to you and the knowledge to shame a woman's body and shame someone how they eat when they're already struggling. Be an edifier, not an abuser. Be an edifier. Lift people up that are down. You know, and I'm seeing a woman who's down because you're not being nice to certain people, and that tells me you're not happy. And I wish you were happy. You know, and you're not going to find your happiness in a man. You know, I thought I was going to find my happiness in a man too. You know, I love my husband, but he is not the source of my happiness. He's not. It's a true happiness is a contentment within you. It's a internal contentment. That's where you find your happiness is within you, not anyone else around you. You know, I was told this in therapy a long time ago that happiness is a choice. And it took me a long time to get that, but it really was deep seated in my mind that happiness is a choice. And happiness is about the contentment you have within you. To be content about who you are as a person, to love yourself. You know, and that's important, Chantal, to love yourself, because if you can't love yourself, you can't love others. You won't know how to. That's why Jesus put it the way he did when he said, I give you two commandments: to love God with all your heart, mind, and spirit and strength, and to love others as yourself. And that's an important message, to love others as yourself. Now, how do you love yourself? How do you love yourself? Compromising who you are is not loving yourself. You're punishing yourself. So how are you supposed to know how to love others as yourself if you truly don't love yourself? You get that? Like I said, it's an internal contentment. No one's going to bring you happiness but you, in your heart, in your soul. Like you look at the book of Job, for instance, and Job was crying and whining and how dare, why, Lord, did you let this happen to my life? And God was like, gird your loins. Job had to learn how to love himself through that whole thing because his wife abandoned him, his friends abandoned him. And this is his whole life fell apart for him. But he learned that the contentment of himself was all he truly needed, was to feel content in here and to know who he is. Like how like you got to think of this. If you don't love yourself, how can you truly love God too? Think of that. If you hate yourself, how can you truly love God correctly? Because you don't know how to take care of yourself. And this is something you have to work out. It's something I had to work out with myself. You know, had a lot of problems. I'm very sick. But I learned, even if I'm sick, even if I'm hurting, I'm okay with being me. I'm okay with being me. Not my body, me, here, internally. You need to find yourself again, Chantal. Um, it happens. It happens after going through really traumatic events. You lose yourself. It happens with relationships that end. You lose yourself. And I just wish you the best, Chantal, at the end of the day. And I hope you truly find that contentment you need. And I truly hope you truly learn how to love yourself and to stop compromising yourself for people. Because you're never going to feel good compromising yourself for others. It's never going to fix you. It's never going to help you. You'll just feel lower and lower about yourself. And that's just simple wisdom from a woman who's gone through hell and back. You probably should apologize to Amber, to tell you the truth, and Zachary Michael. You should apologize to them. I would. I would. Because Zachary Michael, he can be catty. I get it. I get it. He can be catty. But what I've noticed about Zachary is he does have a good heart. And his sexuality should have nothing to do with online fucking drama. because that's a personal thing. And same with Amber. Her body should have nothing to do with online drama or how she eats. And to laugh at someone binging, knowing how you struggle binging, is just very mind blowing. It's very confusing. But as an advocate, I had to speak up. This has nothing to do with my feelings regarding you or Amber. It's just the moral thing to do. Especially since I have a platform and I've always been an advocate. And I always will be an advocate. It's who I am. At 6 years old, I was banging on my desk talking about how much a tragedy the Gulf War was. That's how long of an advocate I've been, okay? It's just who I am. And I accept that part of me and love that part of me, really, to tell you the truth. Because it takes courage to be an advocate. It takes courage to go up to someone you love and tell them that what they did was inappropriate. It takes courage to do that. And I know you can do that. And I know you can apologize to Amber and Zachary Michael for their offense. We can all do better here in this world, and I want peace. I want true peace. I don't want bullying. Jason Lee died today. He was Tommy, the green and white ranger on Power Rangers. And he died of suicide because of cyberbullying. That man, that beautiful man. And I see that you contributed to cyberbullying. And knowing that man died, no, man, it needs to end. This human concept of criticizing others and dogpiling others and and putting others down because of their beliefs or what they say, it needs to end. Because people are dying because of it. I'll miss you, Tommy. It really, like, all the advocacy I've done over the internet over cyberbullying and harassment and to know it fell down on that wonderful man. An 8th degree black belt. Even someone like him, beautiful, strong, with an amazing positive outlook, and he still did it because people made him feel so fucking low about himself. over a goddamn opinion. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking, and that shouldn't have happened. If people just learn to shut their fucking mouth and not hurt others, he'd still be here. I mean, what, like, seriously, Foodie Beauty, what if your dude's actions caused Amberlynn to do that? You know, what if your constant fat shaming on Amberlynn causes her to hurt herself? How would that make you feel? Would you feel good about yourself? Would you? Would you feel like you're an amazing person that you push someone into that type of thinking? If that man was such a powerful message who took care of so many kids, he left 4 children behind. If he can do it and break like that so fast, it can happen to anyone. We really need to pay attention to what we say to others at the end of the day, so that doesn't happen, to prevent that from happening to others. Not it has nothing to do with your feelings about the person. It doesn't fucking matter what you feel about that person. It's to prevent them from hurting themselves, and it's just to for just being a human and just finding life precious. And life is precious. It doesn't last long. You're here today, you're gone tomorrow. Why waste your life being bitter, mean, angry, condescending, and dehumanizing toward other people? Why waste your life like that when you could be building people up and making yourself feel good for building people up? Or we could continue down the same route as humans and hate one another and have our wars and have these mass shootings and just have all this ugliness around us and have this person bashing this person and this person. We could live in a world like that, but all it's going to do is cause destruction. We could build something beautiful in this world, but we choose to destroy instead of create. Peace and Maranatha.